What happens when the truth comes from the one person who stayed silent the longest? Jim Jones has finally broken his silence, and what he just revealed about Chrissy and Cameron has the internet losing its mind. A fake pregnancy, a staged setup, and a betrayal that might go deeper than anyone ever imagined. This isn't just a love triangle, it's a calculated scheme exposed at the highest level. And Jim's receipts? They're explosive. For years, Jim Jones stood quiet, loyal to Chrissy, distant, but respectful, toward Cameron. Through reality TV drama, industry beefs, and swirling rumors, he said little. Let the internet talk. Let the streets speculate. But now? He's talking. And what he just said has flipped the story on its head. A bombshell Instagram live aired at 11:42 p.m. on a Sunday night. No promo. No warning. Just Jim, staring dead into the camera with the weight of a man who's been holding in fire for too long. Over 120,000 people tuned in live, and millions more watched the clips reposted everywhere within hours. I was quite out of respect. But I can't stay quiet anymore. Y'all wanna know the truth about that fake baby? Bet. The comments exploded instantly. Was he finally confirming what fans suspected? That the viral footage of Chrissy with the fake pregnancy test wasn't just an emotional mistake, but part of a planned, manipulative scheme? And then he dropped the name nobody was ready for, Cameron. It wasn't just her. Cam was in on it too. This was all a setup to make me commit, to force my hand. And I got proof. The room went dead silent. Even through the screen, you could feel the tension shift. Jim wasn't just exposing Chrissy. He was tying Cameron, his former brother-in-arms, his Dipset day one, to the scandal in the most personal way possible. Let's rewind. Chrissy and Jim's relationship has always been a magnet for chaos. We saw the ups and downs of love and hip-hop, the proposals, the fights, the makeups. But behind the scenes, something darker had been brewing. Friends close to Jim say he had been pulling back for months, emotionally, financially, even physically. Chrissy noticed. And according to Jim, that's when the manipulation started. They came up with this whole storyline. A pregnancy. A family. Some fairy tale comeback *T. And they thought if they caught it on video, I'd have no choice but to stay. Yes, Jim claimed the viral hotel footage, where Chrissy was seen with a fake pregnancy test, wasn't spontaneous. It was staged. The box, the bathroom, the reaction, all of it, they knew what they were doing. She had the prank kit ready. She called Cam. Said, let's make this real. I found the texts, man. I seen them with my own eyes. Screenshots. Haven't been publicly posted, yet, but Jim insists he's holding on to them in case this turns legal. What's even more shocking is his timeline. According to Jim, Chrissy and Cam had been in communication behind his back for weeks before the footage leaked. Supposedly, they met up in Miami under the guise of squashing old beef, but really, they were planning the baby angle. You think it's a coincidence they both go quiet for months, then pop up with this viral mess that makes me look like the bad guy? For longtime fans, this is devastating. Cam and Jim's relationship was iconic. Dipset wasn't just a rap group, it was a cultural movement. Harlem royalty. To think that same brotherhood is now entangled in betrayal, lies, and fake baby schemes? It's unreal, but the evidence is stacking up. After Jim's live, fans began digging. Screenshots of old Instagram stories, side-by-side comparisons of travel dates, even Chrissy's subtle follows and unfollows. They all painted a picture of quiet coordination. One tweet went viral. Cam flew to Miami March 3rd. Chrissy was seen there March 4th. Jim was in New York. You do the math. Another fan pulled footage from a Cameron Twitch stream where he joked, sometimes you gotta help people get what they want, even if it ain't real. It didn't take much for fans to connect the dots, and while Chrissy has remained silent, no tweets, no posts, no explanations, Cameron decided to respond the only way he knows how, with sarcasm. He posted a story featuring a baby doll, a pack of fake pregnancy tests, and the caption, since we are faking things now, should I fake child support too? Was it denial? Deflection? Confirmation with comedy? Nobody could tell. But one thing was clear, he wasn't denying it. Now the public was split. Some believed Jim 100%, after all, he'd stayed quiet for so long, why lie now? Others thought he was spinning the narrative to save face after years of commitment issues and emotional distance. But here's where things got deeper. Jim claimed that after the footage leaked and the backlash hit hard, Chrissy broke down, not out of regret, but fear. She thought it was gonna be cute. A little emotional trap. But when it went viral, she panicked. Started crying, talking about how she never meant to hurt me. But you don't plan something like that by accident. He described her as being overwhelmed by the backlash. Brands pulled back. Friendships got quiet. Family members started asking questions. She wasn't prepared for the internet to turn on her. That's what happens when you gamble with real love and fake intentions. In the days following Jim's live, the media circus only grew louder. Podcasts brought in relationship experts. Reality TV fan pages broke down every episode for clues. Twitter Spaces ran for hours debating whether this was a case of manipulation or heartbreak, or both. Even Love and hip-hop producer Mona Scott Young weighed in, tweeting, "Phew. Y'all. Really out here making real life look like scripted drama." Behind the scenes, sources say Chrissy and Cameron have both received legal warnings. Jim is allegedly considering a defamation suit if private messages or footage surface without his consent. It's gone from scandal to strategy, but that's just the beginning, because if Jim's telling the truth, and if the receipts drop, this won't just be a breakup. It'll be the biggest reality relationship exposé of the decade, and we're only getting started. After Jim Jones dropped his bombshell live, the internet went from stunned silence to pure chaos. Reactions poured in like a flood. Celebs, fans, and even longtime Dipset affiliates weighed in. And the common reaction: we didn't see this coming, but it all makes sense now. Within 48 hours, every major blog had the story. Headlines ranged from Jim Jones accuses Cameron of plotting with Chrissy in fake baby scam, Cam and Chrissy's secret alliance. Jim finally breaks his silence, Dipset civil war. Jim exposes the family. Even the Shade Room posted a 5-part breakdown with timestamps, quotes, and side-by-side clips from past interviews that hinted at tension long before this exploded. Meanwhile, Cameron wasn't backing down. He followed up his baby doll post with a video captioned, "When they don't marry you after 15 years, some folks get creative." That wasn't just shade, it was gasoline. And fans ate it up. Twitter turned into a battlefield. Team Jim versus Team Cam. Old Dipset fans who grew up on "Oh Boy" and "We Fly High" were now caught in the middle of a betrayal that felt both personal and poetic. But here's where the plot thickens even more. Jim began releasing snippets of screenshots, text messages between Chrissy and an unnamed contact, allegedly Cameron. In one message, Chrissy says, "He still ain't moving. We gotta do something big." Another reads, "Video makes it real. If he sees it, maybe he'll stop playing." Jim blurred the name, but the timestamps match the timeline he gave during the IG Live. Fans cross-referenced travel posts and Instagram check-ins, trying to link Cameron's presence to Chrissy's hotel visit, and then came the audio Jim dropped. A short voicemail clip on his stories. A woman, believed to be Chrissy, is heard saying, "I didn't mean for it to go that far. You told me it would be a push, not an explosion." Boom, the internet lost it. The hashtag fake baby scam trended. #1 on Twitter. TikTokers created dramatic reenactments. YouTubers posted hour-long deep dives. Reaction videos racked up millions of views. People weren't just watching, they were obsessed. And Chrissy? Still no word. Not a post. Not a quote. Nothing. Her silence had officially become part of the story. Meanwhile, reports surfaced that she had been dropped from a major fashion campaign. Another reality show deal was under review. This wasn't just a scandal, it was turning into a career meltdown. Even fans who once defended her were now questioning her judgment. Faking a pregnancy is one thing. Doing it with his old friend? That's a deep betrayal. But some were still holding space for Chrissy's side. What if she felt desperate? What if this was her last attempt to get Jim to finally commit? A clip resurfaced from Love and Hip Hop Season 2, where Chrissy breaks down crying, "I'm tired of waiting. I just want a life with him." Now, that scene hit differently. Was this fake pregnancy plot born out of manipulation or desperation? The public couldn't agree. But there was one thing everyone agreed on. Cameron's role had made everything 10 times worse. Why would he help? What did he gain from inserting himself into his former best friend's relationship? Insiders claim Cam had been fed up with Jim's refusal to rekindle Dipset's momentum. Others say Chrissy played on Cam's ego, convincing him to help for the greater good. But some fans weren't buying any of it. Cam has been messy since 2006. He never let go of the beef. This was his revenge. Whatever the reason, the damage was done. Chrissy and Cam went from icons to internet villains overnight. Jim, once accused of being emotionally unavailable, was now being seen as the victim of a public ambush. Then came the twist no one expected. Jim's mother, Nancy "Mama" Jones, chimed in. On an Instagram Live, she didn't hold back. "I told him years ago, Chrissy ain't it. And Cam? That boy has been jealous since day one." Fans had mixed reactions. Some praised Mama Jones for always being honest. Others said this was not the time. But one thing's for sure, this drama has officially become a family affair, and just when the internet thought things couldn't get worse. An anonymous source leaked a fourth video, this time showing a heated argument between Chrissy and Cameron in a hotel hallway. The audio is muffled, but one line is clear: "You promised me this would fix it." not destroy everything. It added a new layer to the chaos. Had Chrissy manipulated herself? Was Cameron pulling strings for reasons deeper than petty revenge? Jim addressed the leak with a simple tweet: "Truth doesn't need a hype man." That said it all.by now, public opinion was shifting hard against Chrissy and Cam. Brand analysts predicted both could lose millions in deals if they didn't make a comeback or offer a real explanation soon. Meanwhile, Jim's music streams surged. His recent freestyle, Tested, hit number 4 on iTunes hip-hop charts. Pain had become profit, but through all the chaos, one question remained: was this ever about love? Or had the fame, pressure, and history between all three turned their connection into a ticking time bomb? Whatever the answer, one thing's certain: the fuse had blown. And there was still one part of the story left to tell. As the dust settled, just barely, fans started asking, what now? Was this the end of Jim and Chrissy? Would Cameron face fallout? Could any of them walk away from this with their legacies intact? For a brief moment, it seemed like everything had quieted. No more leaks. No more lives. Just silence. But that silence? It wasn't peace. It was preparation. Jim was the first to make a move. And it wasn't just a response, it was a statement. He posted a full documentary-style vlog titled, My Side of the Truth. Nearly 30 minutes long, it featured clips from old interviews, texts, with names still blurred, timestamps, and personal footage of him in the studio, reflecting. In one part, he says, "I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. But I never played with anybody. What happened was betrayal, planned, rehearsed, and recorded. And that hurts deeper than anything." The vlog hit 3 million views in 24 hours. People weren't just sympathizing now, they were invested. His pain was palpable, and even those who once called him distant now saw a different man, reflective, hurt, and finally honest. But Jim wasn't just airing heartbreak. He was warning people: be careful who you build with. Some people want your love, others want your image. That line hit hard. The comments filled with thousands of fans sharing their own stories of being manipulated or used. This wasn't just gossip anymore, it was relatable. Raw. Real. Meanwhile, Chrissy was facing the hardest silence of her career. Sources close to her claimed she was emotionally wrecked, staying off social media, and not ready to speak. But then came her move. A single Instagram post. A photo of her journal. Handwritten pages blurred out, but a clear line was underlined at the top: "I broke something I may never be able to fix." The caption? Just one word: healing. The comments flooded in: too little, too late. "We're still with you, sis. This ain't an apology, this a PR move." Public opinion remained split, but the impact was undeniable. People weren't ready to forgive, but they were starting to listen. Cameron, on the other hand, went radio silent. After weeks of petty jabs and cryptic jokes, he posted a single quote: "I ain't explaining nothing to people who believed the lie before they heard my side." It didn't help his case. In fact, it fueled more backlash. Old collaborators unfollowed him. Industry insiders claimed his brand deals were in jeopardy. A rumored reunion tour? Postponed indefinitely. The consequences were stacking up, and yet, through all the tension, a new question emerged: could there be redemption? Jim's vlog ended with a final scene. Just him, in the studio, holding a notebook. "I'm turning the pain into something for real. And if this gotta be the last chapter with her, I'ma write it myself." That line became a TikTok trend. Users shared their own heartbreak stories using the soundbite, with thousands opening up about betrayal, closure, and resilience. Suddenly, this wasn't just about Chrissy or Cam. It was bigger. A culture-wide moment of reflection. Then came the final twist. A leaked legal document surfaced online, an NDA Chrissy allegedly made Jim sign years ago during their love and hip-hop negotiations. It included clauses about public image, pregnancy-related storylines, and narrative control. Was this proof that parts of their drama had always been orchestrated? Or was it just a safety net Chrissy used in an industry that eats women alive? Fans debated hard. Legal experts weighed in. Blogs exploded again. Jim tweeted, "They always said reality TV was fake. Now you know how fake." The truth? Somewhere in between, whether this entire saga was real, exaggerated, or scripted for survival, one thing was undeniable: it hurt everyone involved. In the final days of the fallout, Chrissy went live. No filters. No glam. She spoke softly: "I did something I thought would help me hold on. But I lost myself in the process. And maybe him too." It wasn't a full apology. But it was the closest she'd come to owning it. Jim didn't respond. Cam didn't either, and maybe that's how it ends, not with claps. Not with closure. But with consequences. What started as love became a lie. What started as loyalty became a lesson. And in the age of receipts, screen recordings, and split-screen reactions, Maybe the realest thing anyone can do is walk away. When love turns into strategy and loyalty becomes leverage, what's left behind is never just heartbreak, it's collateral damage. Jim Jones, Chrissy, and Cameron weren't just caught in a scandal, they were consumed by it. And whether you believe it was all calculated or just chaos gone too far, one thing's certain, this story exposed more than just lies. It revealed the cost of silence, the weight of reputation, and how even the strongest connections can be shattered by betrayal. But now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you believe in Jim's side? Was Chrissy the mastermind, or just another victim of toxic love? And Cameron, was he helping or hurting? Drop your thoughts in the comments.